right, welcome. Good morning, everyone. How are you all?
Happy Friday, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're calling from. I always say calling from like it's a radio show. Hey, everyone. We are so excited to have you all here. I'm incredibly excited. I'm so curious to see what you all are going to be building this week. Glad to be back. Love this space so much. And we love you too, Kat. I'm so excited to see what
Hi.
you all are building. My goodness. So put it in the chat. Give me like some thumbs up. Give me some applause on um, just how excited you are. Type in the chat. Type in the chat what AI maybe you're building with. Maybe you're building with AR, VR. Maybe you're curious about blockchain. Let me know.
We had so many amazing workshops. If you guys have any of your more favorite workshops, you have memories. We had an amazing workshop yesterday that was on pitching with Melanie Monique. Hopefully, no one in here missed that. But if you did, we'll have that up on the YouTube very soon. But let us know what your favorite workshop was so far. Just giving more people a little bit more time to kind of like join us before we jump right into our overview. Yeah, knowledgeable about AI, but haven't dived in as of yet. Well, you're gonna have to check out our YouTube channel so you can check out all of the workshops that we've done on AR because we've gone into Google Vertex, Google. We've gone into building AI chatbots with Google Cloud. We've done things with Streamlit. We actually done a lot with AI, so it's pretty great. What's XR? XR means mixed reality. So we had a workshop earlier this week, actually, with Marlena on mixed reality, and we also had one last week with LM8 Designs, and she talked about XR as well. So yeah, we'll be showing you guys where you can find a lot of those resources too, just to go over some ground rules as we jump into our Idea-thon. So one, I want to, before we jump into this overview, I want to congratulate everyone who has started earlier, who joined our Learn-a-thon. And if you did miss some of our Learn-a-thon workshops, it's okay because we had them recorded. But if you were joining our Learn-a-thon and if you have been with us from the beginning, we started and kicked this off on December 9th of last year during Computer Science Education Week. And I want you to know that if you are planning on continuing into the Idea-thon and Hackathon phase of this CreateHER sprint, then by the end of this, you will have completed 90 days of consistent engaging, learning, skill building, and emerging technologies. So that is amazing. I was intentional to kind of like just hold that back because I didn't want anyone to feel overwhelmed when we first started that this whole process was going to be about 90 days. But that is exactly what we've done so far. So I want to say congrats to you all who have really been hanging with us. And for those of us who found us along the way, I'm glad that you did. And I'm glad that you're interested in jumping into the application process of this entire festival celebration of women and allies and emerging technologies, right? So we are going to start a new month tomorrow, March 1st. March 1st is an amazing day. It's also the beginning of Women's History Month. And as you guys know, our hackathon will be ending on International Women's Day. So this is very special. We have a huge community of incredibly intelligent women that are here to apply the skills that they've learned and continue to impact the community with the understanding that they have, right? And that is our goal for right now. So, what we're going to talk about today is how we're going to leverage this weekend to team build, to collaborate, to connect with other creators and allies that are in this community, to formulate ideas on how we can apply and leverage the information that we've learned over the last 3 months of workshops and how we can apply it towards impact projects. We want you guys to be able to walk away with portfolio projects to have something to show for all the work that you've put in over the last 90 days, right? We want you to think long and hard around a lot of the world goals, around a lot of the world issues that are defined by the Sustainable Development Goals, should I say. And you'll be able to leverage the technology, the tools, the software, the platforms that we've shared with you all through our community, through our workshops, through our subject matter experts to create solutions for that. And then there'll be a process for you to do a demonstration, to do a presentation on that information, record that presentation as your product demo. You'll be able to share that with us as your submission, and then we'll have those judged, and you'll be able to win some cash prizes. Your team will be able to win some prizes, which we're all really excited about. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to we're going to go in a specific order just to walk you through how this will all work. And just a keynote, by the end, if you're able to stick around, we're going to do some team building at the end. I want to use this time, since we're all together, to allow you guys to transition into some more team building. We'll be doing that throughout the weekend, all right? So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. And we're going to start with our dev post page. So if this is the first time that you're seeing our dev post page, then I'll need you to go check it out at createherfest.devpost.com. Darlise, if you can throw that in the chat for me, that's great. This is the page where you'll be able to officially register for our Create Her Fest Idea-thon and Hackathon, our Hack for Social Good event, right? On this page, you'll need to make sure that you fill out the registration to be an official member and to be able to join a team that can submit for the hackathon. So you'll be able to do that right here. You will be able to start a project. You'll be able to find teammates. All of those items are here. And you'll also have a link to join our Discord. For anyone who has not joined the Discord yet, just go ahead and tap that and it'll pop you right in, right? You'll see all of our partners, our community partners, those who are financially and community-wise supporting us as well. And you'll have a little blurb around the journey that you guys have been on with us, your technical journey, which is identifying the Learn-a-thon, which we just wrapped yesterday, our Idea-thon, which is starting now. It's going to be a weekend of ideation, collaboration, connecting, team building, and coming up with a premise for a problem that you want to use your subject matter, your newfound skills and subject matter expertise to apply and to solve for, right? And then starting Monday, we're going to jump into our hackathon, which that time you'll be using to build out the technical back end. We want you to walk away with working prototypes. We want you to rapid prototype, right? And to walk away with working applications, web apps that you can show people the work that you've completed during this event. So I want to draw your attention to some key tools here in our Get Started menu, right? Make sure that you've completed the Dev Post registration and the Create Her Fest main registration. The main registration is on our website, createherfest.com. That is how you make sure that you're getting all of our emails, right? You're getting all your updates, critical updates, and resources are being shared there. Check out our participant guide, which during this overview, I'm going to show you a little bit more about. It's hosted to walk you through all the resources that are available to you. And then also where you'll be able to get access to connect with mentors and to schedule time with them. You'll be able to register for the Idea-thon and the Hackathon on DevPost, which I just talked about a little moment ago. You'll be able to find our social media, and you'll also be able to subscribe to our event calendar. That has a list of all of the events. So if we pop up workshops over the year throughout this time as well, during the Hackathon and Idea-thon, if we come up with times for specific dates that you need to be aware of, if you just subscribe to that calendar, you'll be in the know for everything that's going to come up, right? And then we need to talk about requirements for submission. These are all defined in our participant guide, which I'm going to show you in a second. But making sure that you know that we're walking away with a working prototype. You'll need to be able to submit a hosted link sharing a live interactive version. So that would be like a web app that you push to production, a smart contract, or an augmented or virtual reality demonstration that you've recorded. You'll also be able to upload a file. So if you have an APK, if it's like a mobile app, some form of an executable, if hosting is not feasible for the solution that you've created, right? You will need to submit, in addition to that, a demonstration video. It should be 3 to 5 minutes long. You will introduce the problem and your solution. You will showcase your prototype, which is your solution, and how its core features impact or solve for sustainable development goals. And just a heads up, where I'm going to give you a high end review of what those are too, right? Tell us how you're defining measurable outcomes that your solution is providing. You can do this video in using a platform called Loom. So I can actually hyperlink that there for you guys for convenience. But Loom is really easy. It allows you to share your screen and to give like overviews of and product demonstrations on the things that you build or something that you want to show someone. So it's a great tool. And then you'll also want to explain how you incorporated any feedback that you got from your mentors, as well as from the Idea-thon feedback session, or if you've had to pivot your concept. So we want you to speak to how you've overcome. One of the benefits that I'd love to be able to show you guys through our workshops is the troubleshooting aspect, right? You guys got to see with the subject matter experts that we've sourced from our community, from our friend groups, from our colleagues, etc. You got to see how our engineers and how our friends pivot in real time. And that is one of the most valuable, I say, attributes of a technologist. I think about the fact that you got to be the king or the queen of a pivot, right? If you run into a situation, how do you think through it? How do you actively, get around whatever the barriers are, not just for the task that you're taking on, but in life? It's a mindset that I feel as though if we can help give you guys a roadmap to be able to harness and to use, it's going to be everything for your career as a technologist. That will be the rock on which you stand, I promise. So make sure that you are speaking to that during your demonstration, right? Another shameless shout out to Melanie Monique, who her YouTube video for her workshop will be up today. She did an amazing pitch workshop yesterday with us. So you'll want to use it as a resource, right? You'll also need to share a code repository. You need to provide us with a GitHub link or a GitLab link, and that has a README file giving instructions on what you built, how you can leverage your application, how you can leverage the code base, and what is contained in that code base, okay? How to set up and run the project, and then what dependencies and tools are used, right? Talk a little bit about prizes. So we have from our partner ICP, which has been amazing, and we've done some workshops on leveraging their technology, which uses blockchain to store information. We'll have our first place prize for blockchain be $1,000 in cash to that team. Our second place is $600 in cash to that team, and our third place prize is $400. We have a prize for best use of augmented and virtual reality. This includes mixed reality, which will be $750 to that team. And then the best use of artificial intelligence and machine learning will be $750 to that team. Okay. And then you'll be able to get these dev post achievements. So from there, I want to pivot to some of the resources that I've pointed out on our page. The first thing I pointed out was our participant guide. So if you click that, you'll be taken to a that we've organized for you with a bunch of helpful links and information available to you, going over important dates and deadlines for this event. We are right now starting our Idea-thon phase. Today, you are at our introductory kickoff. We're going to have another virtual team building session in addition to the one that's going to follow our kickoff right now. Tomorrow, we'll have another virtual team building session at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So that's Eastern Standard, just for anyone that needs to know. I know we have a lot of international members. Also, on March 2nd, we'll have another virtual team building session. And so you need to know that March 2nd is going to be when our Idea-thon ideation weekend is going to end. And your initial project proposals, that at that point is going to be a milestone. You need to have an idea of who's on your team. You need to have an idea of what you're building, which sustainable development goals they apply to, what technology that you're using. And it's the last day to sign up on the dev post and on our official registration form for the hackathon, right? On Monday, the hackathon phase starts. So you're going to start building out the technical back end of your project. we're going to have a special announcement for you on March 6th in celebration of International Women's Day. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be really big. And then your final project submission deadline is going to be on Friday, March 7th at 11:59 p.m. Judging and voting will happen on March 8th. It's going to start on March 8th and then end on March 15th. We will have the opportunity to allow you to demo. So there are periods of time where you'll need to sign up, and that'll be available for you soon. The sign up, I'll show you where it lives. You'll be able to sign up and schedule a time to demonstrate your product and to live demo your pitch. If you want to make sure that you can give the best impression and give yourself the best odds of being successful in this event, you will prioritize picking a time during the track that you want to apply to demonstrate and do a live pitch. You don't have to technically do one, but if you don't, you won't give our judges the ability to ask you questions. You won't give the ability to showcase your solution live. And that might, taking that opportunity might sway, your chances in winning if you're able to really elaborate or make an impression, or through the skills that we learned yesterday doing our pitch workshop, be able to connect with the people who need to see the value that you're bringing forth with your solution, right? So I'm really emphasizing this. You want to make sure, even though you're recording a video, you're recording a demonstration, you want to make sure that you prioritize finding a time and scheduling a time to demonstrate live, because I'm thinking that every slot is going to be first come, first served. So if we run out of slots, then you won't be able to demonstrate live. You'll still be able to submit, but you won't be able to demonstrate live. So just know about that. And our winners will be announced on March 15th at 9 a.m. Okay. So this document is full of resources, and I'm not sure, Darlise, if you may want to jump in here too and speak to any of these resources, let me know. But the event deadlines, oh, there you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here. The live demo day slots, the slots will go live later this evening. We'll put an announcement in the Discord, so if you haven't joined our Discord yet, highly recommend, but we'll also send an update via dev post and an update via email as well. So once that goes live, I highly recommend getting some time on that calendar. It is first come, first serve. So that's what I'll say about the guide. We also have a couple of other sections. We won't read through all of them right now. You are free to read through them on your own time, but we've broken down some information per phase. And so during the Idea-thon, you're really using this time to kind of think through your solution, get with your team if you don't have a team, and if you want a team, but get with your team and think through what your tech stack is going to be. And if you don't have a team and maybe you're not able to attend any of our virtual sessions, you can still go into the Discord and post in the looking for team forum using the following template that Adrienne is showing on her screen. And so, we just ask that you create a new post. You'll say, team wanted, what your maybe idea is, or maybe what goal, what UN SDG you're building towards. Maybe you're seeking like an entire team. Maybe you're just looking for a particular role. Maybe list skills that you're bringing and then skills that are needed. So we ask that you do that. And then if you have found a team, just put team found in the messaging, just to let us know and anyone who may be reading your thread know, like, okay, I don't need to look at this particular post if I'm looking for a team. So as a reminder, we do have additional sessions for team forming, but just a couple of tips: be open about your skill level. You don't have to be an expert in any of these technologies. We have a lot of workshops around leveraging these technologies very quickly, but without having a lot of know-how. So definitely check them out on YouTube, a lot of rapid prototyping, and then also use the technologies that we're speaking towards to help you. You can use AI to fill in those knowledge gaps. But if you need any help or if you have any questions, you can contact a community manager or a CreateHER organizer in Discord by just tagging us if you need any help. And to answer the question about if you have to use any particular technologies for blockchain, because our blockchain track is sponsored, we do ask that you leverage Internet Computer Protocol for your blockchain solutions. I'll go over what it looks like. I'll go over what it looks like to access any, like our resource library that'll be launched, and get mentors in a second. All right. I think that's it for the guide. We also, you'll see here, anything in regards to submission requirements, judging criteria. I know somebody asked about that. Let's go to judging criteria since we already kind of went over submission requirements. Amazing. So this is what you're going to be judged on, right? And so definitely think about what you're building and how you're going to be essentially graded. Technical execution, how does it work? What's the quality of the work and how does it even scale? Can we use Ethereum, blockchain, and others? I believe ICP is Bitcoin, but I don't think they'll necessarily I don't think they'll hate if you used Ethereum or anything like that. It's just a suggestion. Honestly, with blockchain and Web3, the whole point is we want more people to build on it in the first place. So if you find a way to leverage ICP during your solution, great. And if you leverage other technologies in the process, also great. All right. Next category being the SDG impact. So the depth of alignment, measurable real world impact. So how are you speaking to the SDG that you're using, and gender inclusive innovation. This is incredibly important at CreateHER Fest, as you can probably guess from the title. Women are important. Women in marginalized communities are important. And while your solution doesn't have to directly benefit women, women are a part of society. And so long as it includes us, we're good. Ethical tech development. So thinking about the ethics of the solution that you're building. This is something that's incredibly important. You can check out the YouTube video from Nicole Jackson on our YouTube about building responsible. What does it mean, like building responsible AI and the ethics of AI? But we'll also include some other resources about ethics in regards to blockchain and AR, VR as well, and just what it means to build with empathy. Real world feasibility. Does it actually, can this actually be a thing? While we encourage you to dream big, try not to dream so big that when the judges are asking you questions, you don't have the answers. And it's okay not to have all of the answers, but think about what you can actually create, one, within the time span of the week that you're actually building and what you're actually speaking towards. So the last thing that you'll be graded on is presentation iteration. We had a great workshop, like Adrienne said, with Melanie Monique about how to pitch yourself, how to talk about yourself, how to present. We've also had, I think, one other from Flora Patricia, which is also on our YouTube as well. So I highly, highly, highly recommend checking out those resources on how to just pitch yourself, talk about yourself in a short amount of time. We did a lot of work yesterday on just how to pitch yourself. It was a great workshop. So once that's uploaded, we'll let you know, and you should definitely check that out. All right, moving on from that, I think Adrienne, we have like a ton of YouTube videos. So like from technical to non-technical, I think we can go into, I'll share my screen on what it looks like to get a mentor and our resource library. So let me share my screen.
Right before you share, I will point you guys to another resource. Check out sdgs.un.org if you want to do deeper dives into the sustainable development goals that we're going to be building towards. So just so you know, this is a global resource. It's on United Nations website. So you can find that at sdgs.un.org/goals. And right before I stop sharing my screen, I'm going to grab this link for you, and I'm going to drop it in the chat. All right. Go for it, D.
Perfect. All right, sharing my screen. Oop, jump scare. All right, so let's go back here. So this page, the mentors page, will be launched this evening. And what this page is a page for you to look up and connect with mentors. Mentors are going to be really important because these are subject matter experts in a variety of different fields who can speak towards the things that you'll likely be building. And so if you're needing to talk to someone who's an AI developer or someone in cybersecurity, Gen AI, product design, we're going to have mentors for you. So what does this process look like? Once this is launched, you'll come onto the mentors page. let's say you want to book with me. I will not be a mentor. I'm just here for demo purposes, but you are free to ask me questions if you want. But let's say for demo purposes, you're clicking on me, you see my expertise. Okay, Charlie is great with AI. If you want to connect with me or any of the mentors, I think all of them have linked their LinkedIns. CreateHER Fest is not only a technical event series where you're learning to build, but you're also learning to connect. We want to create an opportunity for you to connect with people you otherwise would not always be in the same room with. When's the next time you're going to be in the same proverbial room with a CEO of a blockchain company? Graduate students at working for NASA? Like, when are you going to have that experience? And so we implore you to take full advantage. These are women who are literally opening up their networks and opening up their lives to help. And so I highly, highly, highly recommend taking full advantage of that as it makes sense to. But back to the demo. So if you want to book with me, okay, you see that I'm available 11 a.m. Saturday. It's going to check for availability. Right. You'd put in your information. If you have any team members you want to add to the call, you would add that. Session topic gives a brief overview or just like a title to like what you want to discuss with the mentor. This helps them kind of get their mind around, okay, what are they coming into this conversation to speak about? All sessions are 30 minutes each. And so I would say if you want to meet with them more than that, that's something you should discuss with that mentor. But to accommodate like the fact that many people will likely need access to these mentors, we've capped these mentor sessions at 30 minutes. So come in with what you want to talk about and specific questions. So any specific questions you'd like to talk through during the session, and get specific about who you're trying to talk to. So if you have a question about technical implementation, talk to a mentor who's technically implementing that technology, as opposed to maybe someone who's a product manager who may not necessarily be able to help in that way, but can help in other ways. So once you fill in that information, you confirm booking and you'll get an email with your session details. The next area will be the resources library. And this is something we're actively building out and will also be launched this evening. But this is where you can find resources in regards to literally anything in regards to the hackathon and emerging technology in general. I built this leveraging Google AI Studio. We love AI over here. But you'll see a lot of our YouTube videos will also be here if you want to just have a one-stop shop to find resources. But if you also want to find maybe online coursework or interactive tutorials or any readings, videos, whatever may have you. And if you want to look for AI or something in regards to blockchain, cross-team collaboration, if you're thinking about like, okay, how do I lead a team, especially in such a short time, in a variety of time zones with personalities I don't know, people I've never met. To be honest, that is a major skill and something to think about. But we have a workshop, Priyanka Patar, on our YouTube, speaking just to that. So like I said, we have a hell of a lot of resources for you that we definitely would highly, highly, highly recommend you checking out. I think that's it for the mentor, like debuting the mentor and the resource library. But let me go back to the chat here to see if there are any questions. Let me stop sharing.
There was a question about if you can hack alone. It is recommended that you join or that you form a team, but you're welcome to hack alone. That's fine too. There was a question about if this will be recorded. Yes, it is recorded, and we will post this inside of our Discord. I see a question around the mentorship app. Yes, the mentorship app is not available just yet. It will be available today. We had our app hoster is having some issues.
Vercel had an outage, y'all. If you're a developer, you know how that goes. But yeah, I wept.
It's unfortunate, but it should be up in a few hours, and you guys will all receive an email through our dev post. So make sure you're registered for the dev post. You'll receive an update on our dev post when that mentorship scheduling app is live, so you can look out there. Rika, you're asking, are there examples of projects that we can take a look at to get ideas from of our own? That's a great question. I would say you'll find a lot of examples and inspiration on our YouTube channel. if you look at that, some of the applications that we were building through our workshops. However, I would say you can also consider what technology that you want to build. And we're always going to push you back to what we're trying to get you so much more comfortable in leveraging. Consider what technology you want to build on, which tracks you want to apply to. Also consider which sustainable development goals that you want to solve for, and then include some of your own ideas, your own passions, your own interests, and go have like a little bit of a back and forth with AI and see if you can come up with an idea and get some suggestions on what you can build that will point you in the right direction. So if honestly, I think it'll also help with storytelling. I've done that before in a hackathon where I was able to show for the Google Women Tech Makers hackathon, which was back in the fall. I explained for that it was focused on AI called She Builds AI. So shameless shout out to Google Women Tech Makers for supporting us as a community. But yes, so like one of the concepts that I was able to speak to in my storytelling for writing out our pitch was that I leveraged AI to come up with an idea of what I should build. And they kind of gave me a little kudos for that. So that's a concept. Awesome. And then I see Hargan, you asked, like blockchain, are there any specific technologies to be used for artificial intelligence, machine learning, and then also augmented reality and virtual reality? Great question. So for AI, I would recommend any of the LLMs that you see that we've been able to shout out and give you tools and walkthroughs on working with in our YouTube recordings. So that is Claude. We did an entire, workshop building a website with Claude. That is also ChatGPT. That is also Google Gemini. There are a ton more resources inside of our workshops, but what we can do is we can compile maybe a list of applications that have been utilized in our workshops and then point you in the direction of that. So I don't mind coming up with that resource, and we'll send you an email once that's available. And that will also apply for like augmented and virtual reality. We've done workshops on spatial.io, which is a virtual reality application that is free. All of the things that we've used have been free to use, right? Spatial.io, which is a virtual reality application where you can create worlds and spin up worlds. We've gone over Blender, which is an application that allows you to build objects inside of with computer-aided design that you can import into your augmented or virtual reality environment. We've brought up tools like Eighth Wall, which we're probably going to do some more things with that over the next week. But Eighth Wall is a product backed by Niantic. So if you look up eighthwall.com, then that is a platform as well that you can build augmented reality solutions inside of. You can test with that, so consider that. If you look at the workshop that we did with Marlena as well, she went through some AR building and mixed reality building too. So that is currently up on our YouTube. But yeah, like I said, we can come up with a resource and point you in some directions. Just looking through more of your questions. Awesome that you did. She builds AI. It was a really good time. We're definitely going to be sharing more resources with you guys too from anything that we come across because we want you guys to be successful. And I'm really excited to see what you build. Rian?
I'm seeing some. Yeah, I was gonna get to that question because I see Rian asks or having concerns about wanting to keep up. I guess because the Learnathon happened. Now the beauty of this Idea-thon and Hackathon is the fact that you don't have to have participated in the Learnathon to participate in this at all. Really, all you need to do is want to leverage emerging technology. The YouTubes and the sessions, they definitely, I would say, help, but you're going to be doing that research anyway. We just created a space where instead of you having to search all over the place for these resources, we've created one place for you to find these resources. So maybe you're thinking about, okay, how do I create a website really fast, leveraging AI? You would probably find some Medium article or something like that to do that, but we have workshops that will literally walk you through that. Maybe you want to learn how to leverage, we had a workshop on CreateML, creating models and training them on CreateML, which is an Apple software. Instead of you going and figuring that out on some article, we have a workshop kind of walking you through that. So I would say don't let the fact that if you didn't participate in the Learnathon deter you from participating in the Idea-thon and Hackathon, honestly. There's another question. Any advice for managing scope? First timer, considering the timeline, big dreamer, sometimes too big. MVP, most viable product. Figure out what this application just straight up needs, because you have your needs, you have your wants. Straight figure out what your application needs and build towards that. Now, you can, again, leverage a lot of this technology to streamline your process, to also just make it faster as well. A lot of the time that you would spend maybe project planning, you could go into an LLM like Claude and say, hey, I'm talking to Claude, you are a project manager. I have 1 week in a hackathon. I have these skills. My team has these skills. We want to build this idea and we have this amount of time. We have to hit these milestones by this date. Help me create a project plan. And so then, boom, it's done that work for you. It's printed that out. All you have to do is like, okay, I'm doing it this by this date. I'm doing that by that date, and that's it. But always thinking about what your MVP is. What's the minimum viable product that you want to be able to showcase to the judges? So that's my advice there. Is it a must use ICP? I'm likely to use Ethereum chain. So how would judges be? Will the preference be given to ICP submissions? I wouldn't say the preference would be given to ICP submissions. The whole goal of working with ICP is to onboard more people onto Web3 and blockchain in the first place. And so just by you leveraging the technology of blockchain is going to give you the up that you need with a judge. Now, would it be great for you to use ICP? Absolutely, but we're not requiring it. Highly recommended, but not requiring it. I can't say that, it won't look good for you to use it, but it's not required. Okay, someone says, I have a pitch package ready for developers. Oh, okay, cool, nice. Once we submit our solutions, do they become property of CreateHER, or we can further development and bring them to life? We don't own that. That is all you. That is all you.
Same policy as MIT. So when you're building, and if you've ever done one of their virtual or in-person hackathons, then we use their exact same policy. It's your proprietary information. We do protect it. We're not interested in taking any ownership of it. The goal also of this community itself is to, one, give you like a zero consequence environment to give this a shot for your first time, for anyone who is a first timer, and then also, for those who aren't first timers, try and work with someone who is, because I think that giving them that opportunity and that experience of how to do this and being able to build a relationship with someone who has experience with this as well is gonna make a big difference for them, because you kind of already see, like, it can come off intimidating on trying this for your first time, but we're showing you and we're giving you all of the resources to iterate and to prove to you that this is not as intimidating as it seems, and it's something that you are so capable of doing. I know we have some differences. We have some questions in our chat and then also in our Q&A. I see like there's one more question in the chat and then we can jump into the Q&A. Once we submit our solutions, we answer that. Is Idea-thon the best place to present that information? So the Idea-thon is just a weekend of us trying to show you guys, especially for the first timers and newcomers, that this is how you should prioritize your time. The Idea-thon is about making sure that you're ideating, you're getting a solid ground on what you want to build. If you already know what you want to build, then, come up with, navigate and come up with a team, come up with what technology you want to use, come up with all of that concept. And then we'll talk a little bit more about that on Sunday. So you'll be able to share that with us on Sunday. You'll be able to talk to the mentors, take time to leverage that application once it's available before the end of today. Leverage that application, get some time with our mentors, get some feedback. Because another thing that we want to show you guys to do when you're building, not just in the concept of the hackathon environment, but like in your career, right? Identify what subject matter experts you have access to and get additional perspective. One thing that I struggle with myself is like when I have my head down in something, I start to see red a little bit because I've lost myself in the concept, and I'm so into the detail because I'm very detail oriented. I love detail, but sometimes sharing it with someone who has context, who has the same skill set or even a stronger skill set than me, it gives them the opportunity to shift my perspective, and they're always able to point out things from a perspective that I hadn't thought about. And it's usually really valuable for me in terms of like improving or iterating on what I'm building, right? So we want you to have a feedback cycle that's already involved. Hey Dee, did you grab any questions from the Q&A? We can start on those.
Yeah, so somebody asked if there were, well, one, do you have to submit an idea? But yeah, I think we kind of answered that there, but also any decks we can look at. We can come up with like a list of like, just decks, but honestly, do your research. Like that's kind of like the point of this as well, but we can curate a list of like winning pitch decks. I would still say, regardless of like maybe the design of your pitch, it's more about the information and how you're presenting it is really what I would lean on. So I would still recommend checking out the video from Melanie Monique once that's
going to be
uploaded.
That's going to be the best resource for you, to be honest.
Literally, like,
because what we don't want you to do is to feel stuck on following someone else's idea. But what we want you to do is give you a framework that's going to be applicable to whatever variable you apply. And that's exactly what she did. So we will get that to you. That'll be available on our YouTube today. Please utilize that.
Okay, someone else, Tanisha, is asking, while judging, will it give some importance to ICP submissions? Because I'm trying to make some new super idea with respect to SUD statements, but using ICP won't help me. I just want some guidance to build it, and my project more so uses Ethereum. So will it be validated based on the idea or the tech stack, like using ICP? It's going to be validated based on the idea and how you use the technology that you chose. So if you're choosing Ethereum, it's more so how you used Ethereum, why you chose it, like what was the basis around it and how you implemented. More than like, it's not a competition between technologies or anything like that. Yeah.
We're not ETH maxis. We're not maxis. If you're familiar with those concepts within the blockchain community, we're not maxis in any kind of application. We care the most about your implementation, feasibility, and impact.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all of our questions. Unless, one last call for questions, but also give me, something in the chat. How are we feeling about moving forward? Like now after this, the Idea-thon begins. Like we'll go into team building if you're looking for a team, but yeah, the Idea-thon starts literally after this. You can start ideating, let your mind wander, get creative. We really want to see some amazing projects. So how many slots available for live demo? So it depends on which track, but all tracks have about a 2-hour allotment, and then it's like 3 to 5 minutes. So I would say, 20. About 20. Yeah. Nervous but excited. You have this. I promise you got this. You have this. No idea how to pull it together, but
please consider all of this preparation. Our accessibility to us, your ultimate, like pep talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got this. We believe in you so dearly, so deeply. No idea how to pull it together. 17 lessons.
Let's go, friends. You have this. I believe in you. I can't wait to see you all in Discord. Again, if you have any questions for myself or for Adrienne, we are in the chat. I'm there for under developer, and Adrienne is there under a guy. If you don't see her online, that's not because she's not online. She just doesn't like to show that she's online. So, but she is absolutely there.
So you can always ping me at a guy, aka AI, or you can ping me at a guy also. So I have multiple devices, multiple accounts. I don't usually show my status. So that's what throws people off, because anyone who is a member of Discord, they know what it is to be a part of a million Discords. And then when people see you online, they will like derail you and distract you. But anyway, I'm not trying to derail and distract us now, but that's really all it is. I am almost always available. So that's really the problem.
And just a note from someone in the chat, is it only women? No, like we're, building with women in mind, but women and allies can join and build, no problem. The last thing I actually want to share is just about like building out loud. Like part of the experience of being in these emerging technology and why Adrienne and I created this space was the fact that we wanted to offer exposure to the technology, but also give an opportunity for you to talk big about yourself on LinkedIn, on, Instagram, on X, on YouTube. Oh, love that. But yeah, talk big about yourself and say like, hey, I joined at Creator Fest. I'm a creator. We're hacking, like we're building. This is what I built. This is what I'm doing. This is technology I leverage. Brag about yourself, and document the entire process. Use hashtag CreateHER Fest on X, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. We want to see like how it's going for you all. Don't build silently. Don't build under, in a cave or under a rock. That's so scary for me. Excited to have fun. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Like, you would be so shocked at how supportive the community can be, but also this community is here for that purpose. And so share in the Discord, like how it's going, but also just share on LinkedIn. We'll amplify you. I know many of you are looking for roles or looking to just upskill and see like, okay, how can I make that pivot into a technology that I may not have experience in? This is a great way to show off that experience and to show off that you're willing to learn something and stick with something. So I highly, highly, highly recommend Building Out Loud, but we'll also offer a little template, some little cute that you can post on socials. If you want to put like your headshot in it and say like, oh, I'm a creator at CreateHER Fest. So
Just
I
remember,
would, yeah.
this is an absolute zero consequence environment. You only have the opportunity to gain from it, right? There's no way that you can walk away with less just by giving this a shot. And this is what we're trying to create for you. An opportunity to give it a shot with all the support, with all the reinforcements, with all the tools that you could ever need. But we want you guys to take this seriously because we also understand what this landscape looks like for the technology industry. All three of our technology tracks are targeted towards opportunities that if you align yourself in now, if you get experience in them now, if you decide to specialize in any of these technologies now, then you will be perfectly positioned to be successful over the next 30 years of implementation because you're going to see these technologies be interacted and be implemented in every aspect of society. You're going to see blockchain take off in terms of like our financial landscape when it comes to fintech. You're going to see distributed ledger technology take off in a number of incredibly creative ways. You're going to see people leverage augmented, mixed, and virtual reality for education, for application, for understanding, for security. There's so much opportunity here. You're going to see, obviously, you exactly see what this landscape looks like with AI, right? We want to put you guys in the best position for you guys to be the desired talent. This is the opportunity here. And we're giving you everything you would need to be successful. And as well as ourselves. Like you have access to us. If you have questions, if you're looking for direction, if you want feedback, that's what we're here for. So
Amazing.
don't want to take
All
up
right.
your time. We want you to team build. Please connect with everyone in the room, even if you don't work together. Just know that you're in a room surrounded by people who just want to see you win. And sometimes that can make all the difference too. So, all right, guys.
Amazing. All right. We're going to get off the stage, so to speak, but feel free and please, and highly encouraged for you to stick around and do some team building or some networking. We have the tables labeled based off of the UN SDGs. So I can definitely send the link for the Discord in the chat really quickly. But yeah, feel free to pop up. Perfect. You beat me to it. Feel free to pop into a table of an SDG that you have an interest in, or just kind of float around and see who you can meet. I definitely challenge you to walk away from this session having connected on LinkedIn with one person. I will say I challenge you to do that. Connect with one person on LinkedIn based off of anything that you've talked about today. So, all right.
All right, guys.